What's up, guys? Mitchell Gonzales, the Bearded Realtor here. Hey, are you a young professional or a young adult that's thinking about making a move to Denver, that's looking for a suburb that is close to downtown, has great culture, tons of food options, and affordable housing options? Well, you've got to hear about the suburb I'm going to talk about today. So, let's hang out. What's up, guys? Mitchell Gonzales, the Bearded Realtor here. If you've seen one of my videos before in the past, welcome back. If you're checking out one of my videos for the very first time, make sure you do click the red subscribe button below, as I do post weekly content all about living in and moving to the Denver metro area. Along with that, as much as I love making these videos, I love helping people find their dream homes even more. So with that being said, if you have any questions about real estate, you're interested in buying, selling, looking at homes, whatever it may be, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. I'm available 24/7 to answer any questions you guys might have. But with that being said, City of Champions strikes again. So Denver Nuggets pulled it off, beat the Heat in 5, which if you saw my golf video, I said it, Nuggets in 5. It happened. I posted that video before the game happened, so can't say that I, waited until after. But either way, very exciting. Another championship for the city if you love sports. Another reason to move down here. Avalanche last year, Nuggets this year, Broncos like 7 years ago, but maybe Broncos in 2024. Along with that, the Mammoth have won, Rapids won. I don't think anyone here thinks that the Rockies are going in anytime soon. But with that being said, you're not here to listen to me talk about sports. I could do a whole YouTube channel about that. You are here to learn about a suburb that I feel is perfect for young professionals. And that suburb that I'm going to talk about today is Rino, also known as River North Art District, but all of us out here, we call it Rino. And so Rino is a much different feel than the other suburbs that I've talked about. So maybe you saw my video about the 5 top why Denver's perfect for young professionals in the 5 suburbs that I mentioned there. Maybe you saw one of the first 4 videos that I talked about Denver suburbs. Those ones, they're bigger, a lot of them are more well-established, older homes, maybe better for families, probably definitely bigger location-wise. Rino it's got a lot of newer aspects about it that I'm going to talk about in this video, and you'll see why I feel like it is the perfect suburb for young professionals, especially if you're kind of maybe single or newly married or just a couple. Not great for families. I mean, you could live there if you're a family, but personally, probably not. I don't think it is. So the things I'm going to talk about are the location of Rino, the arts and culture of Rino, because that is one of the big selling points, the food and bar options, and of course, the housing options. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the location of Rino. So Rino is basically located just north of downtown. Like, you have downtown, and then Rino is basically north of it. It could even be considered a part of downtown. Basically directly east of I-25 and also north of Coors Field, which if you don't know, that's where the Rockies play. And so Rino, if you look at it on the map, it's only like a 1 mile radius. So it's a pretty small condensed area, but it is packed with different things. So based on that, its close location to downtown, it makes it extremely walker-friendly, extremely biker-friendly. They've got the little scooters all over the place that you can rent and get anywhere. So if you're the type where you don't want to be having to drive around a lot, you don't want to have to Uber a lot, maybe you don't even want to own a car, then Rino could be perfect for you from a location standpoint. I think it's absolutely top-notch, especially if you're looking to get that downtown feel or be close to downtown. So next I'm going to talk about the arts and culture. So it is called a art district, and it is very, very artsy. So they've had a lot of really cool art initiatives going on over there. A lot of different murals and streetscapes that have been done. So if you walk around, I mean, literally the city or the suburb is like a piece of art. There's literally just murals on all of the buildings, just all kinds of different artists and styles. So you can see a lot of really cool things from that aspect. So that's really cool. They also have what's called First Friday, which, as you could have guessed, it takes place on the first Friday of the month during the summer. So they do different live concerts and things like that, which really adds the culture that they're building. They've got several different art galleries and museums. So really, if you're into art, you're into music, Rino is going to be perfect for you. They've actually got the brand new Mission Ballroom. It was just built in 2019. So that's becoming a really popular concert venue. There's like several shows there every week. It's a good size. It holds about 4,000 people. So it's bigger than like your little local spots, but obviously not as big as like your Red Rocks or one of your arenas. But definitely a great size and can hold some really awesome shows. Along with that, they've also got Cervantes' Masterpiece Ballroom. Now, that one's going to be a little bit of a smaller, more intimate setting. That one holds about 1,000 people. So still good size to have a pretty fun show, but not going to be as big as Mission Ballroom. That one's going on its 20th anniversary this year, so built in 2003. So for how small it is, having the two concert venues obviously goes to show you their dedication to music and all of that. So along with that, obviously I got to talk about it's close to Coors Field, where you can go catch a Rockies game. So you can literally walk to Coors Field. Now, if you know anything about the Rockies and the Monfords that own the Rockies, you know that the Monfords are not afraid to spend money on creating a fun environment for Rockies games. So they don't want to spend money to make the team good. Full disclosure, I don't know if the Rockies will ever win a World Series in my lifetime as long as the Monfords are owners. I just don't think they care about winning that much, because what they do is they make a super fun environment at Coors Field. So you can't beat a Rockies game during the summer. Like, it's so much fun. It's such a fun environment. They've got a whole party deck up there. They just built McGregor Square, which is on the other side of Coors Field, so it's not technically in Rino, but it does add to the entertainment aspect that, you know, that they're going for. So if you don't care about seeing a winning product, you might get lucky. They might win. But it's definitely a lot of fun going to a Rockies game during the summer. So along with Rino having incredible art and culture, there is also an endless amount of food and bars to choose from over there. So like I was saying, Rino itself is a pretty small area, only like a mile from one end to the other, and it has like over 50 restaurants and bars. So what that means is like every other door that you go into is like a bar or a restaurant. And so definitely a ton of options. So they have one of my favorite things, the food halls there. So you have the Denver Central Marketplace, which has about 11 different vendors. And if you're not familiar with what a food hall is, I think they've become extremely popular out here. And it's kind of like a food court, but I don't even want to say that because it's like way nicer than a food court. Normally there's like a shared bar that you can go order drinks. There's a bunch of just community style tables everywhere. And then there's like 10 different food vendors. And normally it's very highly regarded chefs. It's not going to be like your McDonald's or Panda Express. Like, don't get me wrong, I think there's nothing better than going shopping and then having Panda Express, but the food's a little bit better at these places. And by a little, I mean a lot better. And so a lot of different options. And I think this is especially popular in areas where there's a lot of young professionals, because if you're anything like me, and some people might say I'm not that young anymore, I feel like I'm still young. My wife and I, we are extremely indecisive. If we go with our friends, we are equally as indecisive. I think that's a trait of young people. We say, hey, where do you want to go to eat? And it's like, oh, I don't care. But then someone throws out an option like, oh, not that place. Like, well, clearly you care a little bit. And so the nice thing about a food hall is that you go there, you can get some drinks, you go with a group of friends, you go with your spouse, significant other, whoever it may be, and there's a ton of different options. Everyone can go, get their food, sit together, enjoy a meal, not have to decide where you're going to go. So along with that, there's also the Source Hotel and the Source Market Hall, which is really cool because it's over in a former iron factory. And the hotel is awesome. It's got like 100 different rooms. They're, kind of a smaller concept, but it's cool, contemporary style hotel and everything. Obviously right in the heart of Rino, close to downtown, and gets you close to the Source Market Hall, which is like the original food hall in the Denver area. I remember when I first went there, like, I don't know, 9 years ago or something. I thought was like the coolest thing ever. I had no idea. I'm like, man, whoever thought of this is a genius. And so the Source is kind of the original one, gives you a nice variety of different food options. So along with that, the housing options I feel like are very affordable for the Denver area. So if you're the type where you are looking for kind of maybe something, maybe you're a first-time home buyer, and you're looking for something, then Rino could be a great option for you. So full disclosure, a majority of Rino is going to be attached homes. About 90% is going to be your attached condos, townhomes, multifamily. About 10% is single family. So to get a single family home, now there's been 4 that have hit the market in the last 6 months. So like I said, not a ton, but they do hit the market every once in a while. You're looking at anywhere from 600 to $1 million. So 600 is going to get you like something that needs a substantial amount of work. It's not going to be really updated, but it'll get you a single family home. Really, you got to be more in the 8s to $1 million to get something that's more updated, a little bit nicer, more contemporary. And $1 million for a single family home around 2,000 square feet, that's still not bad value for the Denver area. For attached homes, you're looking at more in the 3s to upwards of 1.5 million. And so to get something in the 3s in Colorado, typically you're looking at something not as nice. Now over in Rino, it's going to get you a condo that's either a studio or a 1-bedroom, maybe 500, 600, 700 square feet. So not that big. So that's why I was saying the housing options for the most part aren't going to be great for families, but it could be great if it's one person or a couple living there. And you're okay with the condo that is just 1 bedroom. Great options at 300. Most of the buildings over there are pretty new, so you're gonna get something that's like really nice, almost like an urban contemporary feel, where there's a lot of different industrial things that I think are really cool. Like you might have like the iron handrails or the exposed ceiling that's like painted black and just looks really clean. For 1.5 million, that is going to get you something much higher end. It's probably going to be the penthouse of a building, where it's going to be bigger. 1,500 to 2,000 square feet, and probably going to have a really cool patio, maybe a rooftop patio that oversees the downtown, maybe some mountain views, something really nice. So that's what's cool is really the condos. It can get you anything from a first-time home buy to something that's much higher end, and that's why I think Rino really is the perfect spot for young professionals and adults. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you learned something new about this amazing suburb that we call Rino out here in Denver. If this is an area that you want to check out, or you have any other questions about other suburbs or living options, real estate, or just maybe things to do in Denver, make sure you do give me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. Happy to answer any questions you may have. Along with that, if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure you do click the red subscribe button below, as I do post weekly content all about living in and moving to the Denver metro area. So with that being said, thanks for hanging out with me today. Bearded Realtor, signing off.